The Chancellor, Philip Hammond, will announce a £2 billion plan to bolster Britain's cybersecurity. This comes as the Director General of MI5 says an increasingly aggressive Russia is among the most prominent dangers to UK security.
It's a rare interview with the Guardian newspaper that Andrew Parker has given, and he said in it that Russian cyber attacks are targeting military secrets, industrial projects, businesses and our government. Well, GMB security analyst Mikey Kay joins us from New York. Good morning to you, Mikey Kay. I think that for most people, myself included actually, that ideas of espionage and Russian spies feels like quite a remote idea from everyday life, but from this interview it does feel like it's a present threat. Can you put it into sort of layman's terms for most of us as to what that actually means for us?
Well, we shouldn't be under any disillusion here, Ranveer, that states have been spying on states for decades. The CIA tried to meddle with the Italian elections in 1948. I think that what is different now, and the reason why this is the first interview that MI5 have given in 107 years. So I think why there's this increased transparency is because terrorism and espionage have been around for decades, if not centuries. But those components underneath the term globalization haven't. So increased access to the internet, the prevalence of social media, and more importantly, and this is what the Islamic State have done very well, is the ability to influence through propaganda. So I think MI5 and MI6 and CIA and the FBI, I think these intelligence agencies are now having to start to become more transparent to counter a narrative that might be coming out the East.
Well, and of course, Mikey, over where you are in the States, the Russians accused of trying to influence the American elections through hacking.
Yeah, I mean, and it's important to note, Susanna, that there is no proof of that at the moment. But let's just take a quick look at Putin for a second. 2 years ago, he made a land grab on Crimea, and he did it through Russian separatists, i.e. proxies. Then he entered the Syrian war last year, and he did it navigating the international system and mechanisms incredibly well, i.e. he was invited in by Assad. So it's a legitimate. And now what we see, to your point, we see that there is a notion that Russian hackers, potentially being used as a proxy by the Russian intelligence agencies, are now feeding information to WikiLeaks that are potentially influencing the outcome of the US election. Now, whether or not that there is fact-based evidence on that or not, the notion is out there. And as you know and I know, perception is everything.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, Mikey Kay, thanks very much indeed.
You know, I support Trump because he represents the American dream. He represents the traditional values of Latinos and the entrepreneurial mind and what it is to achieve success